using or what they have. No, they're not. You have to sort of accept, not be offended by what they're saying. Also, people I know,
you can recognize that it's offensive,
right,
but you can't take offense.
Yeah, and I know people that there's the words they're saying, they don't even know they're saying them. It's just the thoughts. It's their mind thinking that they're expressing verbally. They're not. It's not a personal attack. It's just how they communicate.
It is, and you got to know how to maintain your composure and not crack. Let's just move on. We have so many topics. Sure. We have here about 10 pages of topics. So let's keep going. There is no normal. That's one of my favorites. So we live on planet Earth in the year 2019 in the space-time continuum. Would we be having this conversation 1,000 years ago, or would we be like, hunting for like mooses with like a spear, right? So normal is relative to the year you live in, to the country you live in, even within a country, the region, your upbringing, the nature nurture debate. There is no normal. Jeff, what's your take?
Yeah, well, it reminds me of the Nike campaign, "Love 'em or hate 'em," the Colin Kaepernick commercial, when he says, "Don't ask if your dreams are crazy, ask if they're crazy enough." So that to me means sometimes if someone calls you a weirdo, that can be a good thing. That just means you're different, you're atypical. Don't be. I think you really creatively and say as entrepreneurial way, people take it to the next level when they just be themselves and not be concerned with what other people think or judge. You can't worry about that. You can't not be who you are. Have to be yourself. And all of us.
But what do you think in terms of like a physics perspective, like a reality perspective, people need to understand that there's no reference point, right? You could literally do anything. You could walk out like dressed as like a polar bear, and then like just roam the streets and making videos. You can say like make pranks or whatever. Mm-hmm. People will call you crazy, but then that sort of stuff gets attention, gets millions of hits on YouTube, right? Like anything normal has no value, basically, right?
Correct. Even Johnny Depp, when he played Captain Jack Sparrow, at first Disney, they wanted to pull the plug. You're walking around like a
drunken sailor.
Drunk Keith Richards. And Johnny Depp said, "Hey, look, just go with it. Give it a shot. I think it's gonna work." And Disney, sure enough, they're like, "All right, we went this far. We can't turn back now." And Captain Jack Sparrow, one of the most beloved characters in all of motion picture history. Right. Just a unique take on.
And that franchise made, I don't know, at least $1 billion, maybe more. So there is no normal. I know that once people can actually get behind that concept, it's super important, because a lot of people want to be in that comfortable, warm swimming pool water of like normalcy. Like you don't want to stand out, because then you get criticism from your parents, get criticized by your friends, get criticized by your teachers, your coworkers.
Even the whole social media, putting yourself out there. I know a lot of females are worried about the hair,
Imagine like a scenario, people like, your buddies go out to the bar and, everybody has a Heineken, and then you drink like a Corona or something, or even whatever kind of situation. Anytime you're not normal, it's always, you're under pressure, right? And then just accepting the fact that you don't have to cave into normalcy, right?
Yeah, and two things, Bart. I think that blends into once you get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's
because then people get involved in the groupthink, right? And then groupthink makes you have a mob mentality, and then you can't be a critical thinker with a mob mentality when you're referencing and pinging off each other.
Yeah, and investing, going contrary, and sports betting, gambling, going against the
investing. You'll just, this is a popular stock. Everybody just buys it at the same time, sells it. The masses get slaughtered, right?
That's correct. So there's great value in standing up for what you believe in, being yourself, and then confidence. Some of the best salespeople are confident. Whatever it is charisma, they just pull it off. Whatever decision they make, if they get lost, it's a good thing, because some other new opportunity was uncovered. So I guess once you just stop caring and just be yourself and embrace that and what makes you an individual.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually become yourself when you stop having reference points of normalcy.
I like that.
Okay, next topic: entropy and laws of physics. Entropy is a thermodynamic concept. It's very deep. I love the word. I love the concept. And as much as I expert on entropy. There's probably a whole new level that I don't even know, but I know it enough to recognize its value.
So, Bart, what's your definition, and how do you, is it entropy physics? Is it entropy towards disorder, towards chaos, electrons, neutrons moving around? What is entropy to you, and how does it apply to QuickBrainPower?
So my view on entropy is first and foremost, entropy is not just physics, but it's thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. So dynamics is like, another word for like changing, right? And thermo has to do with like temperature of like hot and cold, right? So like if you say, oh, that girl she's hot, or look at him, he's so cool. So even though hot and cool, you think maybe just in terms of like a social word, but it's actually a word of thermodynamics, because I do believe reality is real, and those are real expressions. And if you measure the entropy of the hot girl, there's a lot of volatility, like a volcano bursting, right? There's got that magnetic attraction of the hotness, right? And if you think of the cool guy, same thing, is very solid and grounded. So it's congruent with thermodynamics, those descriptions. And for me, entropy is just like managing the chaos of like the energy that's bubbling up within like a hotness and a coldness, and like just like converging those two together to kind of like mesh, and then like that's not necessarily something romantic, but more of like it could be camaraderie, it could be like being in harmony with your coworkers, it could be just being a good friend. It just could be like, it's just like how to balance the energy of like the good and the bad, right?
So entropy for you, Bart, is a positive thing.
No,
not necessarily. It's neither positive nor negative.
It's not positive or negative. It's just a way of understanding the world.
Okay.
It's a way of,
and meaning just movement or
it's energy,
or
Jeff.
thermodynamics.
It's energy. It's a way of recognizing and choosing how to react to certain energies. You know how, did you ever notice how like a bad person has like bad energy?
Yes.
They almost like suck the life out of you.
Yes.
And they just like, you get tired and headaches. So that's almost like you get like bad entropy from them, versus someone that has like a lot of energy, and like you might not like them or agree with their personality or whatever, but they uplift your energy, or even maybe ground you, and like they just
or
like
challenge you, even.
or even challenge you, right? Any sort of dynamic is better than a regressive one, right? As long as you're not pulled back, you're being pulled forward. And for me, entropy is just one more way of understanding the world. Let's keep going. A productive day full of kinetic energy. I have a whole PDF on this, and I'm probably going to throw it into the book for sale. Kinetic energy basically means like, an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside force, Basically, we want to keep going, and even if you don't feel like it, because you don't have the kinetic energy, you don't feel like it, right? There's no feeling because there's no kinetic energy. So once you just kind of force yourself, maybe like, that being that outside force within yourself, then you create the kinetic energy for the next time, and then you can perpetuate that habit to actually be a habit in the future.
Yeah, well, I have an example of that.